Welcome to Mum's Work and Chaos. I'm Louise, and this podcast is designed to help fill the gaps in your village. Each week, I sit down with a new guest. Think of it like two friends having a chat about something important. From toxic family dynamics and medical misogyny to embracing who our kids are and understanding neurodiversity, we're here to make sense of motherhood, one chaotic conversation at a time. So grab a coffee, settle in, and let's dive into this chaos together.
Oh, I wish I was there.
Well, I wish you were too. It's really fun. This is the first podcast I'm doing from the studio.
You're just a bit too far. I have to go to London on 2 separate occasions next week.
You just wish they were closer together and you could combine it in one thing.
That was unfortunate that I couldn't combine them. You can imagine how tentative I was telling my husband. I was like, so and also the second time I'm in London, I've got to stay overnight. So I was like, so you know how I'm away the 17th and 18th? He was like, yeah. I was like, I also need to be away on the 15th. I can do the school drop off and I'll be back by bedtime. I'm literally got to go there for an hour's meeting and come back. Yeah. Well, but it's an important meeting. So
can you tell me more, or is that a secret?
There's just nothing to tell yet. Hopefully it will lead to some very cool things.
Oh, could there eventually be an advent calendar?
No.
Or a beauty box?
This isn't for that. My brother does the OK beauty boxes. And every time I see him on the school run, I'm like, any chance? And he's always just like, no, you haven't got enough followers.
Well, I thought that over 200,000 followers on Instagram alone would warrant a beauty box, but clearly not.
You would think so, wouldn't you? And I said, yes, but they're very...
They are.
My mum said to me the other day, she called me, she was in Boots, she was like, what would you suggest I buy? And I was like, just come over. What are you doing?
I think that's the thing, though. If I lived around the corner from you and we were friends on the school run and I wanted to try something, I would ask what to buy in the hopes that you would ask me round, only because I would want to impose myself and see if I could get a cheeky giveaway or something.
I normally put together a box of things I've opened and tried, but don't love, not my shade, that kind of thing. And that goes on the school run. So when they see me walking with a big box, they all get very giddy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, friends.
I think everyone would just gravitate towards you. Up until this September, I had one kid in school of my 3. And so there's just some days where I'd still be on a phone call for work. And so I might hide at the back of the playground. I feel a bit more sociable, so I'll go chat to people. But now I'm in this weird place in the playground that's in between land. My eldest is in year 4 and my youngest is in reception. I have to stand between them and they're at either end of the school. So I'm not making friends with people in reception. All of the people I was talking to in year 4 are still huddled together and having a chat. And I'm in this no man's land of no friendship.
Do they come out at the same time?
Yeah, unfortunately. There's no release or staggered start.
So ours are staggered, but there's 10 minutes between. So that's actually really annoying.
Yeah. 5 wouldn't be too bad, but 10's a bit excessive.
10 minutes, especially when it's pouring with rain. You're just like, fuck's sake.
Well, the youngest is still in nursery. And then when she starts school, my middle one will be in year 2. Yeah, she'll be in year 2. At either end of that block, my eldest will be all the way down the other end of the school. But by that point, she's just going to be like, I just want to meet you by the car. Don't talk to me. When I'm dropping her off, we walk through that gate past her drop-off bit. And then she's like, you can leave me here. You can go drop off Indy. I'm cool. I can go in.
Good. Got this, Mum.
I can't believe this. You're 8 and already you don't want to be seen with me. I first came across you from your funny reels, all the fun stuff you do with voiceovers and looking at other people's things and videos of stupid stuff. I absolutely love your videos around the joys of Gen Z makeup trends. It's just hilarious. I love your lip liner one where it just gets bigger and bigger. Because I sit there and I am on TikTok, but more like watching than doing. And I just look at these young girls doing these makeup tutorials and I'm like, who has time to stick individual lashes on
I know, it's so unrelatable. And I saw one today where it was someone who was about 22, and she was like, this is your sign to wear makeup every day, and this is your everyday makeup. And I was like, don't tell people they have to wear makeup every day. And second of all, this routine, I was like, no one's got time for that. If you've got to go to work, it was just ridiculous. It was almost going through the process of what you do for bridal makeup. First cream base everything and then powder everything. I was just like,
no, I don't have time for all that.
this idea that you should wear makeup as if wearing makeup signifies you've got your shit together, or that you should make the most of yourself. That really pissed me off. I was like, actually, fuck off. Some days I don't wear makeup because I haven't got time, or I'm having a really good skin day and I think, I look fine. Or the activities that I'm doing don't warrant makeup. I'm at home editing, taking the dog for a walk, doing some housework. I'm not really seeing anyone other than the school pick up and drop off, and they don't give a shit what I look like.
You just need to let your skin breathe as well. I'm 37 now, and I'm finding that my periods have changed. My skin is changing with it as well. I've always had combination skin, dry on my cheeks, a bit oily on my T-zone. It's definitely hormone. I'm getting outbreaks, and sometimes I just don't want to cover them up.
Yeah, you don't want to put loads of makeup on your face when you're already feeling a bit sore.
Yeah, it's really awful, like almost like cysty spots as well, that just like a lump under.
Yeah, they never amount to anything. They just are really sore and painful for a couple of weeks and then they go.
Honestly, but I've also, like, I think as I've got older, changed like the stuff, like the types of creams and things that I use on my skin. I've gone from the days of being young and carefree and just whacking a bit of simple hydrating moisturizer on to now going through like a whole entire serums, creams, eye creams, retinol,
the whole shebang.
And I can remember it because I'm really great in the mornings, but I'm so shit at night. I always forget, or I'm a devil for going to sleep with my makeup on.
A lot of the people don't do skincare at nighttime because they're at their limit. They've got nothing left in the tank. So what I would always say, take the day off, do your skincare, like when you're putting the kids to bed. They're not going to go to bed straight away. You can be like washing your face, slap a serum on, go and read them a story. Then put some moisturizer on. It doesn't have to be complicated, but if your skin is changing, pay more attention to your evening routine. 5 minutes, that's all I ask, please. 5 minutes. And I'm noticing, I've filmed a reel today about a product that I've used. I won't spoil it because it's coming out today. But I'm realizing that I didn't take off the effects of it as I'm looking at myself, because this is over Zoom, so you can see yourself in the corner. All I can see is that I have a really brown nose.
Do you know what video I really loved recently was you going to do netball in your Patrick Star waterproof foundation. I thought that was brilliant.
That was like the least favourite video I've had in ages.
Really?
Yeah, which is interesting, isn't it?
I thought it was really funny. And the fact that it actually lasted, but you really put it to the test. You went and
when I'm in the
rain.
Are you waterproof? Prove it, bitch.
Stand here for a minute and find out, shall we?
My annoyance with when people are reviewing products, I have been fallen victim before of someone who was holding a mascara and going, you will not believe how amazing this mascara is, and then revealed this eye where the mascara looked absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And I bought it and it was absolutely shit. The worst mascara I've ever used. I never saw the bitch put it on. I trusted that she was being honest. There's no way that mascara did that for her. No chance. My lashes lift easily with mascara. Even if it's not a great mascara, they'll do something.
Yeah.
So I was like, you have done some work to get that looking like that's your lashes. From my experience, I have always wanted to show the reality of a product and showing me putting it on, how I'm putting it on, and talk through the process and the claims from that brand, because that's really important.
It's so important, and I've fallen foul fairly recently. I've got a few lotions and potions in front of me so that we can talk through it all. I really wanted to start trying Elf because I'd heard really good things about it. I decided it would be such a good idea to just buy it off the Boots website. I bought myself the CC cream off the website, It was the complete wrong shade. I guessed based on what I wear with other brands, no one ever uses the same name, or it doesn't always equate. Although I'm an ivory in Rimmel, I'm not in Elf. 100% not. It got delivered, I tried it, and I was like, oh shit, now it's open. Can I take it back? I don't know. So I just never got round to sorting it out and taking it back. Although I really liked the consistency and the feel, because I was a really big BB cream wearer. I didn't want a full coverage foundation. I wanted something a bit lighter that was more moisturising. And so I went through this whole phase of wearing BB creams, and I thought, oh, I'll try a CC cream. I've never sorted it out to take it back to get the right one.
I get asked all the time, how do you find the right shade match? Online, that can be quite hard. There are really great systems where you can put in what shade you are with another brand and it will match you. That's great, but not all brands have that. So what you need to do is not just go in willy-nilly and choose a concealer or a foundation. You need to be thinking, what am I wearing? You want to wear something neutral. My face is not the colour of my chest or my neck. I'm a bit darker on my face than I am my chest, so I tend to go a little bit lighter with the base and then warm up with the bronzer and so forth. So you want to really take into account not putting anything on your face makeup wise, like don't wear a base. You want to have something relatively low neck, neutral, and then you want to swatch 2 to 3 shades and then go outside. That's the key piece of information, because what people will often say to me is, I went up to one of these really fancy pants makeup counters and I got shade matched, and some people who work on the counters aren't very good at shade matching. To be fair to some of them, they're dealing with artificial light a lot of the time. You need the right shade match for in there. This artificial lighting, you need to go into natural light to really check what it looks like. They'll give you a mirror. If you say, can I borrow a mirror and go outside and have a look, that's fine. And it's the one that completely disappears when you turn like that and you can see that it's a match. What a lot of people fall foul of is going, oh, well, it's only an £8 concealer, I'll buy that. Oh, well, that's only £5, I'll buy that. By the end of the month, if you keep buying makeup like that, A, it's waste, and B, you'll have spent probably about 50 quid on makeup that does not serve you at all. Fair enough if it's like an eyeshadow colour or a lipstick that you kind of know what your shades are, that's fine. But when it comes to base products, don't be doing that.
It really starts to add up, doesn't it?
People say things like, oh, I haven't got £30 for that mascara that you absolutely love. I'm like, well, you've just bought 3 mascaras that still aren't the right colour for you because they were cheap. You could have afforded it. The other crap ones.
I used to use Rimmel foundation and I absolutely loved it. Then I thought I'll upgrade a bit and did one of those online colour matches, and it actually turned out really well. I'm really pleased with it. But it's a brand called Decipher, and I'm running low. But
was it good?
I thought it was really good. The first colour that came was slightly too yellow. They let me send it back completely free of charge. We redid the quiz and everything. They sat with me on chat and we worked it all out. The next colour that turned up was spot on. I also chose a concealer that was the same colour as the foundation, because I'm not one of those people that wants to look.
No, you don't want that. As you get older, you don't want white under eyes. That's not the look we're going for. It ages you and it looks far more unflattering. That brand asked me if I wanted to try some stuff and it was all the wrong colour. I didn't go back to them and get another one because I was just like, no.
One thing I really did like though is the colour drops, because you mix it with your face cream and it acts like a BB cream. I do like that. It is good, because sometimes when you're getting ready and you're on the run, you just want something quick. So I
think that's great that you were able to send it back. They were on it. That's what you want from a brand. Good for them. I didn't even think to do that. That sounds like a really good idea. What else have you got?
I need to restock. I feel like I want to try a CC cream and get the right colour for me.
So what I would say to you, it sounds to me like you like buying makeup.
Well, now I'm being very frugal, but I've run out of everything. My foundation, I'm running out of my concealer, and my colour drops are almost gone as well. So I'm trying really hard to hold out until I've got literally nothing left, and then I'm going.
The
I
Decipher,
think
have you got stuff left in the Decipher foundation?
a tiny bit, like
Okay.
probably 3 more
Okay.
full goes, and then I've run out. But the concealer, it will last a bit longer. I used to be one of those people, like I worked right next to a big Asda years ago. I used to go on my lunch break because I needed to get out. I'd go for a mooch and I'd buy my lunch, but then I'd always have a little look at the makeup. I used to have the most insane nail varnish collection because I just see something and I just buy it and I think, oh, it's only £2. And I did waste a lot of money on makeup. Now I try not to spend on makeup and use it to the last drop before I then go and get something else. It's really difficult for me because I can be very impulsive with little purchases. It's something that I'm trying really hard to stop. But also, I'm trying to invest in better stuff or try out some of the dupes that I've seen as well. I used to always wear Rimmel, but then I've really got into the contour and blush stick from Collection. They're so and easy to use, and the formula on them is great. Foundation brush, it's the Decipher foundation brush. They gave me the brushes because the foundation and everything was wrong, which was nice. But it came like a full set of brushes, which I didn't really need. So you had like a concealer brush and a powder brush and, you know, all the other shit as well that I really just didn't need, because this is literally the only brush that I use for foundation, blush, contour, the lot. I'm just lazy when it comes to doing it. I can do foundation, concealer, blush, contour, mascara, and eyeshadow in probably like 5.5 minutes.
Yeah. But I wouldn't use the same. So I will sometimes use the same brush that I do blush and contour with and highlight. I hold the brush in different ways, but keep the base as the base. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a funny coloured base. And concealer, I would just use your fingers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I always feel like I was once told that fingers were bad. I used to apply my foundation with my fingers.
So I get why someone will have said that. If you apply your foundation with fingers, say for example, that Patrick Starr foundation, you would notice the difference if you applied that with your fingers. It's a very full coverage foundation. You definitely need to apply that with a brush or with a sponge. When you paint a wall with a brush, you're going to get a smoother finish if it's done with a roller than your hands, right? But when you're talking about more BB creams and lighter coverage, your hands are fine. The reason why I use my hands a lot is because I've got makeup brushes here. These need to be cleaned. I haven't got round to it yet. In fact, I ran out of brush stuff, so that's on order. But I would rather go and wash my hands, know that my hands are squeaky clean, and apply makeup rather than put a makeup brush that hasn't been washed for 2 weeks over my face when I've bothered to go to great lengths to look after my skin. When it comes to concealer, some products are better when they've been warmed up. You can just press them in. What a lot of people do with concealer is they get a brush and they start dragging that like that, left to right, rather than using it properly. I find using a finger when you need to be quick is ideal. And again, your hands are clean.
Yeah, exactly. One thing that I upgraded was my moisturizer, and I went from using like Simple and like going through loads of different moisturizers and not really finding anything that really suited my skin. Then I got given a couple of samples from my sister-in-law, who absolutely loves number 7, and she recommended that I tried out the Protect and Perfect Intense moisturizers for both day and night. I absolutely loved them. Migrated over to them quite easily.
How much is it?
It's £25
Fuck
for
that.
how much is it? 50 mils, and it's got SPF 15 in it.
Well, ignore that because that's as good as a chocolate teapot.
Exactly. But I don't mind paying it because it lasts me forever. A little bit goes quite a long way with it.
Because you're not putting it on at night.
I've got the night cream as well. I really struggle with nighttime stuff. I need to sort that out. I also use the eye cream and their serum, and I have been using a little retinol that I got out of a number 7 advent calendar.
Do you know what strength it is?
It is 1.5% retinol complex, matrixyl 3000 plus.
Okay.
Yeah.
My thing is moisturizer is the thing I would probably spend my least amount of money on, because the serum penetrates the skin much deeper than a moisturizer does.
Okay.
SPF, you've got to wear it every single day, so you need to find a formula that really works for you and works with your makeup. So I'd rather spend more money on finding a formula that really works. And I love Haru Wonder, which is a really nice Korean brand. Also the cleanser. Not my first cleanse. My first cleanse just gets the makeup and the SPF off. But my second cleanse, I want a really lovely, balmy, sort of melty texture. I love, what am I loving at the moment? Just spotted my husband's coming back from work. No doubt you'll hear, Jen, in a minute. If you walk the dog.
Oh,
Yes,
God, lovely Basil.
Lovely Baz. I love the Kate Somerville goat milk cleanser.
Ooh.
That is really beautiful. And I always think Emma Hardy balm, I love. If you've got a Beauty Pie subscription, the Plantastic one, really, really beautiful. For moisturizer, you don't need to spend more than 20 quid, I wouldn't say. But if you've got the budget and you're really enjoying it, then buy it.
I reckon I probably buy a new moisturizer maybe twice a year. I use this every single day. How long have I had this one? You need the tiniest amount of this. Like, probably like that much.
I would probably use 3 times the amount that you use.
Really?
There is no way that little dot, this pea-sized amount, you've got to do your neck and your décolleté.
I'm really crap with that as well.
Yeah, you've got to double that.
Why is it so important to focus on this area? Like
She's
on the
pointing
neck.
to her décolleté, guys. Because this area sees a lot of the light of day. And so is exposed to a lot of the day-to-day pollutants that your face gets. So what you don't want is a really young looking face, and then your décolleté is like 20 years older than your face.
That's true.
Even though my chest is covered, I will every morning and every evening include my décolleté and my neck when I do my skincare. The serum goes down to everything.
Oh, okay. Good to know. I feel like I'm really crap when it comes to looking after my skin. Like makeup, I'm trying really hard not to just go and buy stuff. I am trying to, I don't know, always grown up with Rimmel stuff. That's what I was used to using.
There's nothing wrong with budget brands. They are good. The skincare budget brands, the makeup budget brands. Don't get me wrong, there's some crap in there, but bloody hell, there's some crap in the expensive stuff too. So don't think if you're using Rimmel, like, oh God, you know, I should probably be using something better. No, if that works for you and you like how it looks on your skin, stick with it.
I felt like I was starting to get a couple of wrinkles on my forehead and round my eyes. I was trying to be more conscious about really like too much full coverage stuff because I'm very freckly. Now that I'm older and I've come to accept my freckles, I don't really recognise myself when they're fully covered up.
I totally get that. I bet you feel really pale.
Yeah, exactly. I think it changes my whole skin. I went once to the Boots beauty counter to get a colour match with the Zappy thingy that does the photo colour matching.
Yeah.
It worked me out because it was taking into account all my freckles.
Your makeup will only ever look as good as your skin is.
Yeah.
We all get lines, that's perfectly normal. The problem comes from filters. People forget that having lines is perfectly normal. I think that when makeup brands make powerful claims saying this is creaseless makeup, that's damaging because nothing is creaseless. If your face moves, then it will find a place to sit. Even if you've gone to measures to keep it at bay using setting powders and sprays, but it will eventually crease. Because they call things creaseless, people think that there's something wrong with them when they see creases and lines. It's really just this idea that that shouldn't happen, and actually it's really normal and will happen. And you also need to take into account that you are the only person looking that closely at your skin.
No one's going to be talking to you, right?
No one should be that close. If they need to back the fuck up, otherwise they've got proximity issues.
Bye-bye.
We are, but women are the worst at zooming in on their faces, picking it apart, finding something that no one else would see, and then making it into a complex.
Oh, 100%. No, definitely. There's no way around it. That is exactly what happens. Don't look at my friends with or without makeup and think anything, really. I'm not sitting there going, oh, that doesn't look right. Oh,
You're not sat there thinking, oh, she'd be a better friend if she would have a bit of Botox.
no way. Exactly. But it's so funny. We did have a few questions in, but one of my friends stopped me on the school run and she was like, I've got loads of makeup because she has family over in Canada and they ship her stuff from Sephora and things. And she's like, I've got so much makeup and everything. And I was looking at her and I was like, but you don't need any. Like, no one needs makeup, like we were saying earlier. But her skin is just amazing anyway. Saying she wants to start wearing makeup, but she just doesn't know where to start. And she's got all this stuff and doesn't know what to do with it, from face, eyes, lips, the whole shebang. And then we went to Piz Up in London.
I need to get me to one of those events.
You need to come. It's absolutely flipping awesome. Lorna.
I believe it.
I
had a pleasure of meeting Lorna. It wasn't for too long because I was doing a masterclass, but we had a little chat at the end. She's in charge of a party. I imagine it's bloody good fun.
Oh my God, it's amazing. And her husband, Jamie, also DJs. He starts and ends the night. He's amazing. She gets all these brilliant people down.
You have to tell me, she got one coming up.
She's got one coming up in November, but it's in Brighton, and then she'll announce the next London one. Well, I know that Kelly Taylor was at the last one, but I missed her. I bumped into Carla Freeman and I was like, oh my God, but it's a proper night out. You're there just enjoying the night with your friends and then you spot someone that you know off Instagram and go and accost them. It's quite fun. It's an amazing night out.
Like your friend with all the makeup.
Oh yeah, she was wearing red lipstick and she looked awesome. But she was seconds away from wiping it off because she felt so self-conscious wearing it because she just doesn't wear makeup. It took me and my friend ages to convince her that she looked brilliant with it on, not to worry, just roll with it. You look brilliant. I feel like makeup has two ways, like there's two things that can happen when wearing makeup. One, you can feel really confident, amazing wearing makeup, like your mask, if you're causing you to have your superpowers, or it can send you completely the opposite way. You feel like complete imposter. You don't know what you're doing with it. You don't know where to start. You do it and think you've got it wrong. But I think it's so much trial and error, isn't it? I remember the first time I tried to do liquid eyeliner, I got so angry with it. It was just before my prom, which is the worst time to try something. But I got so angry with it. I ended up lobbing the bottle across the room and smashing it on a wall. So now I can do winged eyeliner in like seconds with a liquid eyeliner pen.
It's practice, but you know, red lips or a bold lip. It's so funny because people say that to me all the time. Like, I'd love to wear a red lip or a bold lip, but I'm just so scared that I'll look like an idiot. And I say to them, when did you last walk down the high street and clock someone wearing a bold lip and think they look like a fucking idiot? I've never looked at a woman wearing a bold lip and thought, well, that's a mistake.
If you look back at some of my other podcast videos on Spotify or YouTube, you will see that the majority of the time I'm wearing a bold lipstick. I feel personally more confident wearing makeup. I didn't really start wearing makeup until I got to uni and I was about 18. My friend taught me what she did because I had no idea. I used to hang around with mostly boys. I wasn't a girly girl. My mum didn't wear makeup really. You know, she was whack on some moisturiser, put on some eyeshadow, mascara and some lipstick and get out the house. That was the extent of her makeup routine. I wasn't really taught how to use makeup. And then I started playing around with it, testing things out, seeing what I liked and what I didn't like, and whether I really wanted to wear lipstick every day or a lip gloss. I don't usually wear lipstick as an everyday thing, but I do like a matte one you can put on and it stays on for as long as possible. I get really frustrated with lipsticks because when you're eating and drinking and it just disappears and you have to reapply it. Some of the ones that I really like are the Maybelline's a really good one that stays literally all day. I love my Maybelline one.
But the only reason why I don't love colour stay ones is because I find them quite drying on me, or they can start to separate a bit or just start to fade in the centre. They are generally good, but I personally would rather reapply a more balmy product. RMS have got a lovely product. It's like an orangey red. It's the most vibrant, beautiful colour I've probably ever used.
Yeah.
Whenever I wear it on social media, it gets so many comments and compliments. It is such a statement lip, but the texture is not that of a lipstick and it's not balmy. I don't know what it is. It's very unique.
Yeah.
And that stays on for ages, but I don't mind when I have to top it up because it's not like it's completely gone. I love that. I would personally prefer to reapply than have one of those that's quite drying. But you can use a lip liner all over your lips and that will really help. That acts like a tape, so that really holds on to a lipstick.
That was something new I learned a while ago. I hadn't even thought about using a lip liner for like your whole lip.
That's what I've got on today.
I would never have thought about it because, you know, the name is lip liner. You think about it, lining your lips and not using it across your whole lip. That was something else I started doing as well to sort of like keep colour on my lips as well. But
I tried a brilliant product today. It's by a brand called 1999. Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't.
I got it in the Hannah Martin Beauty Box calendar. I've tried the lip liners before from that brand and really liked them. This one is suitable for blush, lip liner, lipstick, eyeshadow.
Wow.
I tried it out today and I was filming my first response because that's sometimes what I do. I always try and show you my reaction as I do it. I think it's brilliant.
I will definitely check it out.
It was so good. That's literally what I've got on today. My eyeshadow, my blush, my lips. One product.
That's so good. I love things that can multitask.
You could shove that in your car, shove it in your handbag, and you're good.
It's just with 3 kids, when you're in a rush to get out of the house. My kids' school is opposite my youngest daughter's nursery. What we do is all of us get in the car. My husband will drive. I'll take the 2 to school and he'll drop the little one to nursery, pick me up, and we'll head back. I tend to keep my makeup bag in the car and then quickly do my makeup on the way there. I can drop them off knowing that I'm ready for my first meeting of the day, because I do end up having quite a few morning meetings for work.
The state that I turn up in sometimes to the school run, I just don't care. As long as we've done the basic hygiene, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like yesterday, I rocked up in my husband's jogging bottoms,
Oh, nice.
a fleece.
Yeah.
I look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards, despite brushing my hair. And I had been crying in my sleep, which happens every so often. Yeah. So my eyes were like I could barely open them. They were so puffy and swollen because I'd obviously not slept very well. I looked awful and I felt awful. I felt really dehydrated. I felt like I'd been on a 24-hour bender and looked like I'd been on a bender by the time I turned up at the school run. I sort of spoke to some of the mums and I think they're just used to it. I bumped into my sister who was in full glam. She's a doctor, so she has to look professional. Yeah. And I was like, I look really bad. And she was like, you look shit. I look like I've been out drinking. She was like, you do. Where have you been? I was like, asleep, but crying. And I just need to go back to bed, but I can't because I've got shit to do. So I just spent the whole day looking like shit. But I did. It's okay. We're allowed an off day. I'm that comfortable with myself to just be like, it's okay. Today I look like shit. Tomorrow's a new day. If you always look pristine, then if you do get caught off guard, people will be like, oh, are you okay? Whereas if you generally keep the bar quite low and then occasionally up it, people are like, wow, look at you looking so fresh. You're like, yeah, thank you very much.
So from now on, I should just not do makeup unless it's the school mum's Christmas party.
Just keep it really basic. I am one extreme to the next. I'm either face of makeup, hair done, decent outfit on, or I look like I've been out partying all night and just fallen into my husband's gardening clothes.
I feel like that really is like the norm for most of us on the school run. I've had to do the school run on my own. So I have had no makeup on because I've been the one driving, getting them out the car, running them into school and nursery on my own. At least 2 days this week I've looked like total shit. Right now I don't have any makeup on because I didn't bring a mirror into the studio with me. So I can't see what I'm doing. The way my setup is, I've got a camera here and my laptop with you on it is over here. I can't actually see myself to do my makeup.
But what I would say is that you wear glasses. They are almost like a statement on your face because you've got the thicker rims. So there's instantly some colour on your face, and then you've got the hairband in your hair. It feels like you're doing stuff around the face to add colour.
I love my glasses. I've got loads of different pairs. There's a couple of people that I see fairly regularly. They still struggle to recognise me with different pairs of glasses on. I usually always do my eyebrows. I tint my eyebrows every now and again, and it lasts for a while. And then as it's running out, can't be bothered to sort it out again. But then I end up using an eyebrow mascara kind of thing in my brows to sort them out on the quick. I will always use my mascara. I've been using the number 7 one because it's got a serum in it to make your lashes longer. So instead of doing 2 things, putting a serum on and then doing my mascara, my lashes aren't the longest, but they're completely hair and blonde. You literally can't
I'm
see.
starting to think this episode's sponsored by number 7.
But
I'm teasing. You find a brand you like, you go all in, don't you?
The other thing I bought just before I went on holiday, mascara wise, was I tried to tint my own lashes and it didn't really take. I ended up buying myself a Rimmel waterproof mascara, and actually it did so well.
Oh, there we go.
I absolutely loved it.
I think you are a Rimmel girl. You're trying to fight it, but the Rimmel just keeps coming through, and you're trying to be mature and go to number 7.
It's just not working. I'm trying my hardest to be a grown up.
This is what's interesting, and I've spoken to budget brands about this. Your marketing is wrong. You do not market to people my age. You market to young audiences. Why do you do that? They
have less
money. We have big mortgages. We have children, and even when your children have grown up, you've then got grandkids. So you're paying for your kids, you're helping them with university, or you want to help your kids get on the property ladder. I would say I had more money in my 20s than I do now. It wasn't because I had some big career, like I was a nurse, but I had more money because my responsibilities was 0. And that's when I used to buy fancy brands. Lancome sent me their serum. It was my go-to serum in my 20s because I could afford it.
The first time I ever bought branded clothes, I grew up in a really low income family. My mum was a single mum. She had 2 jobs. I had a job when I was 15 to pay for my bus pass to college. I've always felt a bit tight when it comes to spending my money, a bit stingy. And the first time I really bought myself something from a brand, I felt really awkward going into the shop and buying this piece of branded clothing. I felt really weird. And it was only Ted Baker. I felt so awkward because it felt like way out of my league. Buying stuff like clothes from Tesco. And I still don't like throwing clothes away. I don't buy clothes as regularly as I used to. I hold on to things and I find different ways to wear them.
I'm a vintage girl.
I love vintage, and I've been using it to buy stuff for my kids as well recently.
If people are listening to this and they don't buy their kids stuff off Vinted, you're missing a beat. Honestly, everything is bought for the kids off Vinted. We just ordered them new winter coats. Brand new with labels on from Marks and Spencer's for like a tenner.
I got my middle one a raincoat for like £2.50. She's worn it to school today. My 2 eldest daughters are doing dancing as well. So I bought my eldest all new tap shoes, jazz shoes, ballet shoes, and a new leotard from there, and then handed everything that she's got down to my middle one. We live off hand-me-downs as well. Like my sister-in-law, she's got 2 kids, and every year we get like a new parcel of clothes.
We do this at Christmas.
Yeah.
We put £20 aside for each of the kids.
Yeah.
Because our kids love clothes. Like they love dressing up. Like today for Mental Health Awareness Day, they went in yellow. They was, they planned their outfits days ago. They had them all lined out. They love clothes. They love the expression. My kids are so eclectic with what they wear. As long as they're appropriately dressed for the weather and the activity, we don't give a damn. Our daughter will wear a long sleeve top and a Hawaiian shirt over the top. She'll wear a backwards cap, aviators. Like she's an absolute dudette. Our son will go for the most sparkly dress and layer with different pieces. We just sort of go, just have fun. You're young. Like clothes is fun and expression and personality. And so we will go on Vinted and just get like £20 worth of clothes for them, leggings, jeans, hoodies. They'll open that on Christmas Day and feel like the happiest kids in the world. We've learned with our kids that they would rather that than a toy.
It's so funny, isn't it? My middle one asked for another unicorn hairband for Christmas to replace the one that got broken. He's an absolute menace and he loves hairbands for some inexplicable reason. She asked for a replacement one and I thought, do you know what? I'll check out Vinted and have a look. And there's so much stuff on there. Like, I sell things on there. I buy things from there. I mostly buy than sell. I have a whole wardrobe of stuff up there if anyone's interested. I only recently started buying stuff for my kids. And my friend, Kirsty, loves it for her eldest daughter. She's 13 and she wants all the branded stuff. And the amount of amazing bargains she's managed to pick up with clothes, all with tags on.
Like high top trainers.
Yes.
My nephew's really into high top trainers and my sister just gets them and they don't care. They get the trainers that they want. If they need a new coat or a new pair of jeans, my sister will just hand them the Vinted app and say, well, have a look. That's your budget. Have a look on there and find what you want. And for them, that's just as good as going on ASOS. They're just like, cool. Yeah. And they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. Thanks, Mum.
I found it really weird. Like even when I was making my own money and I was like 17, 18, I also struggled going to a shop and be like, oh, that's a bit pricey.
Oh, I was the opposite. Pow, 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 pow. I was terrible with money. Terrible. I was so bad with money. When I met my husband, he was like, I've never been in debt in my life. I swear he didn't propose until I was out of debt. I'm not joking. But
I think you know what? That's exactly the same as me. When I was at uni, I would end up buying like a new outfit for every night out. I would just spend money like it was nothing because I had a job and a grant and a loan. If I had enough to make rent, I was fine. I
was living on barracks because I used to be in the Air Force and I was in transition block. If anyone here is military or ex-military, that's a really shit time. Transition block means that your room is everything, your lounge, your bedroom, and then the shared kitchen is literally a microwave. And the showers are like piss coming out of a faucet. It's horrific. So I just used to go out all the time, constantly spending money. I was really terrible at that time. When I did finish basic training, I hadn't had a holiday for like 2 years. Had obviously just accomplished something quite major. And I walked into Mulberry. And I wanted a tan Bayswater handbag. I'd never bought myself anything like that before in my life. But I was like, I've just passed out basic training. I'm a qualified nurse. I've achieved some big things over the last year. Haven't had a holiday, haven't done anything big. I'm going to buy this handbag. It was definitely a Julia Roberts moment. I walked up to the counter and I was like, do you offer discount on either NHS, military or student? Because I've got all three. Or do I get a bonus discount because I've got all three? Honestly, who does that in designer shops? I managed to get £250 off.
Wow, well done.
Yeah. No, I'm serving your country for the military. I'm also serving the NHS. And probably really it for what it's worth.
That's amazing.
That was pretty good going. Anyway, I then realised I'd maxed out my credit card doing that, and I had no money in my bank account. So I walked straight from there into Lloyd's and had to have a meeting with a bank manager.
Oh no.
And sat down. I was like, I've got no money and I've just maxed out my credit card. I need you to help me know what to do. And he was like, how have you just managed to do that? And I picked up this handbag. I was like, because I've just bought this. And I was like, and I'm not returning it. And that handbag, I shouldn't have nice things. That handbag, I'm not joking. I used to take it on nights out. First of all, I spilt a full bottle of nail varnish in it. Then I used to go on this night out, this dirty, dingy club close to barracks, not good. I remember I used to swirl it around my hand and then skid it across the floor and go onto the dance floor. And then I'd be on my way out, a little bit tiddly, and the bouncer would be holding it. I'd be like, thank you. And off I'd go.
Oh, shit.
I know, terrible. But then I became a mother. So that Bayswater has been living under our bed for, I don't think it's come out for 6 years. 7 years, maybe 8.
I have a rucksack that I put all of the stuff you need just in case, like the baby wipes, changes of clothes, the pajamas if we're going to family after 3 o'clock, because it will be inevitable that I'll have to put them in their pajamas to take them home. Sometimes I get there and I don't have a spare pair of knickers, and so whoever's wet themselves will then have to just wear leggings.
Yeah,
or I don't have any socks and they've been in tights and now they're in leggings, and it's just like, well, now you are a sockless child in trainers. Good luck with that. Enjoy yourself. I'm usually missing stuff, but if I've packed it and we haven't used anything in it, then I will just not touch it. I'll just leave it and we'll pick it up the next time I go out. But then I also have what I call my drug dealer bag, because it's a very small little sling over £7 Primani jobby. I tend to keep keys, a lipstick, a tampon in case of emergencies, a £1 coin. I take that out on the school run with me as my just in case bag. Oh, and it's usually got a couple of bags of mini Haribo in case I forget to actually grab the snack on my way out. You get to the car and that's the first thing they ask for, even though we actually live not even a 5-minute drive away from school.
My kids have been asking me every day, when they leave school, have you got a snack? Not once in 2 years of my son being at the school as well. My daughter's been there for 3 years. Never in that time have I ever bought a snack to school. But still, with such positivity and hope, they ask the same question to the same response. And every time they go, oh, what? They have a tantrum about it. We're literally 5 minutes from the snack drawer, mate. Just chill out.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, they're going to get home, there will be a snack at home.
If I started bringing snacks and then the one day I forget to bring it, all hell would break loose. That's why I've never started that thing, because I was just like, oh, hell no, I am not the organised mum to do that. I watch these organised mums. I watch them with awe and I salute them. I'm not that person and I'm okay with it.
Yesterday, I did the school run and I made myself a cup of coffee, and then I realised the time and I thought, fuck that for a laugh. I reached up to the top shelf of the cupboard to get out my thermos thingy to shove it in there before I left. I should have just taken the cup with me. That would have been the normal thing to do. I should have just walked out that door with my cup in hand and popped it in the drinks holder and been done with it. Because trying to be clever and get a thermos meant that I spilt an entire cup of coffee down my leg just before I had to run out the door. And I didn't have enough time to change my trousers before I left. I've got the longest coat.
It's one of those moments where you don't know if you're going to punch a cupboard door or just cry.
Or when you're in a rush and your trousers get caught on like the door handle as you're running out the house.
Instant rage.
It just makes me so angry. I did a reel the other day using this sound, and it was like this door creaking. And fuck off, prick. That was how I was feeling at the time. It was just the funniest thing.
The thing that made me angrier than I've been for a really long time was we had some of that stuff that you sprinkle into a bath and it turns it to sort of jelly.
Yes.
Or slime. So we did that, trying to be fun parents. Our kids have never been that great at keeping stuff in the bath.
Oh no,
And
come on.
we very harshly stipulated, do not get this outside the bath. It's going to be awful to tidy up. Just keep it in the bath, okay? No. It was almost as though they heard that and went, let's fuck shit up. Less than we've ever done before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the time
It
I
went.
don't say anything, they're better behaved. Like, and then I go, oh, don't do this, and then they just do it anyway. Like my 2-year-old is amazing at just like, she's like a cat. You say don't do that, and she'll just look at you dead in the eye and just do it anyway.
Even if you manage to get it all together,
Yeah.
it's so slippery on the surface. It went behind stuff. To use the towels, it was just. And my husband could hear me downstairs. I had to shower off the kids. And it wasn't the kids' fault. You know,
No.
they don't know. They didn't understand. They're just kids. But I had to sort them out and usher them off. Then I shut the door and my husband came up and was like, do you want me to help? And you're like, no, I am so angry at the world right now that it's best you just stay away whilst I deal with this, because I could headbutt you right now, and you've done nothing but be kind to me in this moment. I am so angry that someone out there created this shit. What the fuck were they thinking? And then loads of people Instagram me saying, I've just bought that for my niece and nephew.
I have a
No.
theory.
If you're going to do fun things, put it in a bowl and in the garden and let them just do that. Oh,
I have an actual theory that if someone really doesn't like you or your child, for their birthday, they'll give them slime. Slime is the worst gift on the planet, in my opinion. It gets into fabric and then you just can't get it out. My youngest
but they do
wears
love
a
it.
nightie that's completely stained with slime.
Yeah, kids' birthday parties, it's difficult, isn't it? You do want to not screw the parents over, but you also don't want to spend a fortune.
No, slime is just shit. I hate slime. Slime is up there with my top 10 worst birthday gifts for a child.
I normally try and do a creative gift. Are you a money in a card kind of person?
Oh my God, you got me straight away.
That's not a criticism. I think you're a genius. I just never have cash on me.
I
I'm an Amazon Prime the day before going shit.
It really depends. If I know your child well and they've been to my house and I think I get what they like, then I'll get them a present. But if it's like someone's birthday, my youngest is in reception now and they're all doing whole class parties and we're now on our
Oh yeah, the whole class thing.
And so everyone
Every weekend is a party.
That's the best I can do.
What I will say though, and I think it's remarkably cute on behalf of the children, is that for my son's birthday, he loves sequins, unicorns, colour, purples, pinks, Barbies, stuff like that. And all of his presents, and I mean every single one of them, were centered around the things that he loves. And I thought that was so lovely, not only for the parents who spotted that, celebrated that, but also I think a lot, because I said to, you know, as you do in the WhatsApp group, thank you so much for all the gifts. And I said, your gifts were so considered and thoughtful. People said that he absolutely loves that, or he'd really love that. So it was the children who were saying, I know what I want. I know what he'll like. We often say to our kids, well, what do you think they'll like? And they'll say, they're really into Marvel, or they love superheroes. It's interesting how well they know their friends when you ask them what they like. I just hit Amazon Prime with those suggestions.
Like a keyword search on Amazon.
Yeah, and then a price filter. I don't really want to go much over a tenner.
Yeah.
Do you think that's fair?
Oh no,
I think a tenner is the baseline. How much cash are you putting in these cards?
Oh yeah, a tenner. That's what I go for. One of my daughter's best friends is the biggest bookworm. One of my best friends owns a children's bookshop. For her birthday, I bought her book tokens from the bookshop.
Supporting your friend's business, nice thoughtful gift.
Giving a thoughtful gift, exactly. The book tokens that she does, they're so gorgeous. They're little wooden discs with the logo of her shop on it. They're just a really lovely little thing to hand over. It's not the usual slip of paper or one of those electronic tappy card things. It's a lovely little wooden disc with her and the price that it's worth. It's so lovely. Whatever isn't spent, they get a credit note. It's just so nice. My friend sent me pictures of her daughter spending her tokens.
Do you know what though? I think books are always a winner.
Yes.
You can't spoil a kid buying them too many books.
My daughter, it took her quite a while to really get into reading. But now she's there, she just can't stop. It's like she has this itch that needs to be scratched. And
that's lovely. I really hope that our kids do get into books. Neither of us are massive readers. If I find a book that I love, then I'll smash through it really quickly. But it's getting into that good habit of opening my book in the evening. Books.
I don't read. I really struggle, but honestly, the way he does it is
so funny.
Like, I cried, I laughed, and it was the most beautiful section of books. And now I'm just like, when's the next one coming out? Because I got through all of them. I'm desperate for the next one.
Such a nice way to switch your brain off from the world around you and to disengage from that to-do list and things. I find it quite hard to make myself pick it up. But for kids, books are sometimes a great conversation starter about things. If it's about school, you can be like, oh, does anyone do that at your school? Bedtime tends to be the time where they're going to start chatting a bit more because they're not daft. They know I need to keep mum and dad talking a bit. The longer I keep them talking, the longer I get to stay up. They're not daft. There is a lovely book called My Shadow is Purple by Scott Creates. I've talked about this book a few times on podcasts. Our daughter is a total tomboy. Like, she'd rather be in a three-piece suit than a dress, and our son would love to be in a sparkly dress over a suit. And this book celebrates basically that not everyone's shadow is blue for a male and pink for a woman. Like, sometimes it's all different colours.
Yeah.
And so we read this book with them both. And it's really well written and lovely images and things. And it was so interesting because I thought this was going to be more for our son to have a talking point. But actually, it made me realise, because our daughter got really excited because there was a girl wearing a three-piece suit at a disco. She was like, oh my gosh, she's wearing what I wear.
Yeah.
And I thought, do you know what? Girls are really misrepresented in books. So often the books for girls are so pink, sparkly, pretty girl. The ones for boys, directed at boys, are just so sort of dinosaurs and all that. It was really nice to see a girl represent a book who wasn't a princess. We had a great chat about it as a family.
As a kid, I was a proper tomboy. I didn't like dresses, much preferred trousers and joggers and jeans and trainers. It wasn't until I had 3 girls, and they're all so different. My eldest was a rainbow unicorn at nursery and hated going to school because it meant that she couldn't be colourful and vibrant and wonderful anymore. She had to wear this boring school uniform. As soon as she got home from school, the fairy wings would come out, the hairbands would come out, and that was just who she is. My middle one has always lived in joggers and tracksuits. Used to put her hood up and scowl at you under her hood. That's just the way she was. And my youngest is basically feral and could live outdoors, and nothing matches. She might wear a dress on top of jogging bottoms because that's what she wanted to wear that day.
But I love that. That's what it should all be about, just being able to
That's for you.
Wear what feels really comfortable as a kid. You know, there's nothing worse when you see a baby wearing a leather jacket or skinny jeans. Just things, leggings. It's all about the leggings or little joggers. Comfortable. Free them. Free them with materials that move.
My eldest, she hates jeans. She's got ADHD and she's really sensitive to textures and the way clothes feel. She hates jeans. Last time I tried to put her in a pair of jeans was about 6 months ago. She cried because she hated them so much. My middle one is the same, and she hates socks. She doesn't like the lines on socks.
Where the toes are.
Buy seamless socks. My youngest just doesn't give a crap. She's just happy doing whatever she wants.
She's the third. She gets ignored anyway. I was the third.
So she's nearly 3, but picks everything up from her older sisters. And there's only a 19-month age gap between her and the middle one. She wants to go to school now already. She gets upset that she's still at nursery. She can use really weird long words in context, which is just incredible. She also now wants to pick her own outfits, which can be the most infuriating thing, because like you're starting to get her dressed and then she's like, oh no, I want to wear this. And you're just,
Oh, mate, every day
yeah,
the kids are told you can wear a skirt.
yeah,
You can wear a skirt to work, to school, a dress, trousers, leggings. It takes so long. And then once they've made their decision, they then change their mind. If
yeah.
I haven't been able to dictate what my children wear since they were 18 months,
It's so
they have
cool.
both been absolutely like, this is what I want to wear. And unless it is not appropriate for the activity or the weather, I've just let them crack on.
It's just so hard, isn't it?
And why do we care? They're not there to be little models.
I don't care. As long as they're happy, I'm happy. It's more the sheer amount of time it takes to get out of the house.
Yeah, but people do care.
Yeah.
They do want their children to look really well turned out and stuff. But if the kids are up for it,
Yeah.
But my mate has matching everything for her girls, and her girls don't mind at all. They're really happy with that. But
Yeah.
I was just like, God, that would have never worked with mine.
But
I'm going to have to go in a moment because
yeah,
of school.
same. But yeah, every kid is different. They have their own minds. They have their own style. They're able to make their own decisions. The only problem I have with it is when they want to make that decision 2 minutes before you have to leave,
Oh,
and
God.
it's a pair of shoes they haven't seen in 6 months.
Yeah.
And you're going hunting for shoes that my mum, she has my youngest on a Monday for me. I haven't seen this pair of shoes since Monday. She's refusing to leave the house without them. I've tried calling my mum to ask where these shoes are, because she definitely had them the last time my mum took her out, and now we can't find them. I'm on the mad hunt for these shoes. They're somewhere in my house. I cannot find them.
I hope you find them.
Thank you so much for joining me today and taking time to talk about makeup, children, fashion, and just being you.
We covered a lot there, didn't we?
But it was great. I really enjoyed our chat, and thank you so much for agreeing to come on and talking to me.
You're welcome.
Thanks so much for joining me on Mum's Work and Chaos. If you've enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and leave a review. It really helps us to reach other mums out there. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Mum's Work and Chaos Podcast for more updates, laughs, and support. Until next time, remember, we're all in this chaos together.